And then he was on me.
It took us a few years to realise that that was not okay.
Nobody would listen.
I wasn't aware of like sexual assault.
It was seen as normal.
Being used.
No abuser.
The next thing I know, I was in the back of someone's car and I just sort of sat
I was being
in
sick.
this stranger's living room, just in complete shock.
It took us a few years to realise
that
that
doesn't make me feel
years didn't
great.
bother me.
Like,
I couldn't
walk away
even
from
start
it.
thinking about it until you had sex with me.
I was raped when I was 18.
I was 15 years of age.
I'm 26, just turned 26.
I was 16 years old.
It was actually on my 18th birthday. I was working away to get some money for travelling and going on to university. And there was quite a big group of us that were all working together.
Really, really excited because I was going to Spain on holiday with my mum and my stepdad-to-be. I was really looking forward to it and to be excited as well so I could take my friend. So that was lovely.
I used to be Muslim, so I grew up in quite a strict family, and so obviously it was very segregated.
I was at a party, and it was obviously like a friend's house party. And there was a guy there, we'd sort of been like kissing and stuff randomly in the night and things. But it was never anything like, you know, I was 16, so I wasn't really, I had lost virginity, but I wasn't like avidly having sex with people or things.
But on the complex that we were staying, there was sort of like a teenager's disco. And this one evening, it was a case of, can we go on our own? And I was really sort of like looking forward to that. I felt really independent.
On my 18th birthday, it was too far away for me to go back home to see my parents, so I said that I'd go for a drink with somebody that I knew from working with them.
I don't know if he was aware of what he was doing. He did his best to isolate me. I wasn't speaking to my family, so my mother, my brothers, my sister, so I wasn't in contact with any of the people that I was really close to.
I was quite blackout drunk, I drank a lot, and remembering like I fell asleep on the sofa because I couldn't go home because I'd been drinking.
We had gone back to where he was living, and some other people from the same company turned up.
To get back to our room, unfortunately, we had to walk up, must be about a quarter of a mile of an alleyway that was quite well lit.
So there were times when it definitely wasn't consensual, so I'd just be lying there looking at the ceiling, just thinking about the washing, thinking about I wish it was over.
And I just remember him like climbing onto me because I was in a skirt as well, so he like pulled down my tights and things and just had sex with me.
The second beer that I had, that's where everything sort of seemed to be going wrong.
There were a gang of about 10 19 to 23-year-olds, and they started really calling my friend and I some names. One bloke grabbed me.
I had on like leggings and jeans and 2 layers of tops, and just thank God for that, to be honest. And I was just halfway between pushing him off and placating him like, yes, I love you, but this is not going to work.
But you know when you're quite drunk and you're sort of zoning in and out and you're very like, you can't move because you're so drunk and you're kind of asleep at the same time. And he was just having sex with me and then sort of finished, got off me and just left.
The next thing I know, I was in the back of someone's car, and we were on the motorway, and obviously I didn't know where I was or what was going on.
And I couldn't scream. I couldn't scream to them to say stop. And I don't know why to this day, why I couldn't scream.
So then from the one car, I was put into another car with just one guy.
I can remember being punched, and I can remember my nose bleeding. I can remember somebody else hitting me and my lip started bleeding.
You sort of go back over it and over it in your head, sort of thinking, well, why didn't I run away? Why didn't I do this? But I mean, I was in a city that I didn't know. I had no money on me, nothing on me at all. And as I say, I just went into some sort of survival mode, and I just thought the best thing to do was just try and get through it somehow.
I remember being pushed to the ground. I remember my bra being snapped and taken off me. I remember my shorts being broken. I remember the pain in my hip because when I fell on the ground. That was just horrific.
We went to the house, and then it happened, and then he just left me downstairs.
Then it must have been about 6 or 7, I can't remember the exact number, of these men just basically taking advantage of the situation and doing things to me that I had never experienced ever in my life.
I was completely shaken, just shaken, and I didn't realise how much that had affected me.
It took us a few years to realise that was not okay, that was rape. It was just really bizarre to think as a 16-year-old that was fine and that was okay for him to do, and he could walk away scot-free, and I just have to sort of deal with that for the rest of my life.
My name is Anne Williams, and I am the helpline manager for the Live Fear Free helpline. We are run by Welsh Women's Aid and funded by the Welsh Government. We are an organisation that supports victims of domestic abuse, sexual violence and all forms of violence against women.
At the time, as I say, I was so young that I just thought it was my fault, or that it wasn't really rape.
And I felt as if I'd let my mum down because I didn't fight back. I felt I left my dad down because of the upbringing that I'd had. I was too frightened to tell my brothers because I knew their reaction.
Our definition of sexual assault is the intentional touching or kissing of another person in an unwelcome manner, in a sexual way, and it can be any part of your body. You can be clothed or unclothed. It's unwelcome attention, and of course penetrative sex against somebody's will is the act of rape.
That's what you feel happened, and that's what you remember happened, and that's what happened, and it's hard having to hold on to that by yourself.
But it has motivated me, it has made me more determined, it has made me a very strong, independent woman.
At the helpline, we would offer support to anybody coming through reporting sexual assaults, either current or historic, and we would support with emotional advice. We would just allow the person to talk and disclose what they want to at their own pace. That's really important. We would never force anybody to take action regardless of what they disclose to us. We are confidential. We're there 24 hours, 7 days a week.
I'd want them to report it, and because I feel that's possibly the only way that things are going to get better.
And I would not want anybody to experience what I went through.
People need to be more aware that this is not okay. You need to teach the kids this is not okay.
And the main thing, I think, is for you to just read as much as you can and know that whatever it is, if you freeze or if you fight or if you were pressured into it or if you were drunk, whatever it is, it wasn't your fault at all.